gun show, right? The place where you can go pick up cheap guns for like $5. You don't even have to go through a background check. Well, that's where I was, Pittsburgh, middle of February, beautiful day, wandering through and saw a Makarov, like the real Makarov, not the CZ82 or the Polish P64, but the real Makarov. And I said, whoa, that thing looks pretty good, except it doesn't look quite so good. And it was in a display case, and the display case had plexiglass. You know the plexiglass, right? It's all scratched up, you can't really see. So I wandered around, eventually picked up the attention of the vendor. I said, hey, can I take a look at that Makarov? He's like, what, that all rusted up pile of garbage Makarov? And I was like, sure, that means it's a really good price, right? So I picked this thing up, he showed it to me, and oh man, it looks pretty good on the left-hand side, but underneath, and then on the right-hand side, this was like laid down in water or something. It doesn't look too great, but a perfect candidate for refinishing. And I looked at it, I said, look, it seems to work fine, right? Everything seems to function fine. The trigger pulls and everything works. Comes with the second magazine. I said, yeah, I know, I really like it, but how much is it? He's like, well, I don't know, like $150? Yeah. I tried not to seem too excited, but $150 for this thing right here with the plan on refinishing it was perfect. So I waited in the long line because everybody wants to buy guns or something, and then eventually got through it, and then I was talking to the guy's wife, and the guy's wife said, well, how much does he want for it? I said, well, it's $150 is the price he quoted, and she said, well, is that plus tax or without is tax included? I was like, I don't know. I had some pretty good conversations with both of them. So $150 out the door, tax included, transfer included, everything with a spare magazine. I mean, this is the deal of the century once I get it cleaned up, because the thing's kind of ugly. But I took it to the range after I cleaned it up pretty good, and functions really, really well. Super happy with it. Let's take a look. My rusty Bulgarian Makarov. This time on gun physics. My Makarov at 9x18. That little 19 right there, that is the date code. Add 1960 to it, and this is made in 1979. If you do some inspection, you'll find that, wait a minute, there aren't any import marks on this whole thing. Can't see any over here. Can't see any over here. Nothing under here. Nothing here on the front strap. I don't know. Looks like this one was somehow smuggled into the country or something. Anyway, this is a Bulgarian Makarov. You can tell by that little circle 10 right there. It is a double action, single action firearm. Once you chamber around, it can be carried double action, safety on, and so you can't, trigger doesn't do anything. Or it can be carried double action, safety off. So this is the first trigger pull, and then this is the second trigger pull. This one came with 2 magazines. It got big fat windows in the side. 2 magazines, pretty good condition. No numbers match or anything like that. There are some electro-penciled numbers on there. And heel release. So standard Makarov is a heel release. There is no button up here to release it. This is a last round hold open or slide release. You can release it that way. You can also, just like any other pistol, push back and release it. This should be brown, along with the hammer should be brown also. These are the official Bakelite reddish, brownish star grips. Check out the rust on this baby. So all along the slide on the right hand side, not on the frame, but underneath the frame up here. And so this was exposed to a bunch of water before somehow and got some rust spots. I do plan to refinish it with some kind of baked ceramic paint coating. Takedown's pretty simple. Once you get that magazine out, he'll release again. Just pull down on this, push that off to the side. This is just like the Walther PP and PPK. There is the whole thing. A little bit of rust right there. I oiled it up pretty good, but haven't cleaned it much. These are the internals, and it's pretty simple to take apart and put back together. There it is. Bulgarian Makarov. Checkering along that curved top of the slide. Top section's flat. Tiny little front sight. Really small drift adjustable rear sight. External extractor. Tiny little ejection port. The inside's in pretty good condition. This is a view of the interior of that slide. Fixed barrel with a recoil spring wrapped right around it. Smooth front and rear straps on the frame. Here's a trigger pull. Double action. Double action again. It's pretty long, pretty heavy, 14 pounds. Now the single action. Resets right there. Little creep. £8 single action pull. Here's what it looks like when you shoot it. First 5 shots at the nose of the polar bear. 3 are pretty good. 2 are off. It's only 5 yards. 3 shots at 7 yards, taking my time. It's capable, but I'm not consistent on that trigger. I shot 3 surplus pistols on this day, and the Makarov was the worst accuracy. I just could not get that trigger to run properly. It's really quite heavy. It may have some rustiness or gunk on the internals. I'm going to have to clean it off. And does this not look like a good candidate for restoration? Going to have to try it, bake on that ceramic coating. I'll get back to you, see how it goes. That's my rusty Mac.
Hey, thanks for watching Gun Physics. Your thumbs up really helps a lot in the ratings, so thanks for that too. And I've got new videos coming out most Tuesdays. Subscribe for more.